Kosi Nation, Sanbunan Makosamahle. Welcome back to Football Trends with me, Mfana Wenoge Okyobi. Today's video, guys, we will be looking at the message that has been given to the chairman, the club chairman, which is, Dr. Kaizer Motaung, Shinshakulova, Brakei. Well, guys, so far we know with the situation that has been happening, and people are talking out there. People have a lot to say. So currently, there's someone suggesting something. He's a legend. Nkhuluma ngaye ke uBricks. Bricks is the one that has said something, which I feel like a lot of Kaizer supporters will agree with, and then there are some that are going to say no, this should not happen. And then you will let me know which side are you on, because at the end of the day, there is a lot that is happening as what is happening with Kaizer Chiefs in terms of that manager role, which is we have two managers currently, Khalil Ben and Cedric Kaze. And as I've said before, those two guys are fighting for who needs to be the main head coach. But all of this could have been solved if Kaizer Chiefs have only just picked one and said, you are going to be the main head coach for Kaizer Chiefs. But also, I feel like they thought it would work in their favor. They can be able to at least find a loophole and be able to say, wenza lokhu, yenza lokhu, yenza lokhu, do this and do that and do that. But right now, as I'm speaking with you, as I've said, there are legends who are looking at the situation, because let's be honest, guys, this is not a good situation for Kaizer Chiefs. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. It looks like even our players currently, they've given up on the club themselves. So what is the solution, or what can be done to fix this problem? Well, let me give you the opinion of this Kaizer Chiefs legend, and then we'll take it from there. So according to Bricks, he says, Bricks Mdao, Bricks Mdao, Buffett, Chiefs legend. He says teams do experience periods of poor from occasionally, but the current situation at Chiefs is abnormal. They require an effective leader. There's a likely deeper underlying issues. The club has been re-evaluating strategies over the years now. A change is urgently needed. It appears his children are making the decisions, and they may not be making optimal choices. That is my opinion. When Brakei presided over the club, the team was more successful. There appeared to be a systemic issues. He must assume control of the current situation. Chiefs are experiencing difficulties. Brakei envisioned a future for this club when he established it, but now his children are trying too hard to emulate his success, which is not yielding positive result. In other words, he's saying uthi abantwana bakhe ke the legendary Shinshakulova, they're trying too hard to bring Kaizer Chiefs to the same standard that he did back then when he was in charge. So he feels like this is creating a bit of pressure to them. So in other words, he hope or feels like Kaizer Motaung should be involved. Now, here's a question that I have for you, Mbogele Bekaya. Do you feel like Kaizer Motaung should be involved in the decisions of what is happening, or in terms of football problems, or should we just say Mjita Usebenzile, he has done his part? The only thing that he can do now is to just relax and let his boys or children do most of the work, because already he has done his job. Should we expect more from him, or should we let his youngsters fulfill the legacy that he has built? Well, that is my question from me to you, Koslami. But then going back to this whole situation, to be honest with you guys, There's a lot that has happened over the years. There's a lot of changes that have happened in terms of, squad, players, teams. So for me, when I'm sitting and looking at the whole situation or the entire situation, what I can tell you is the fact that players are different these days. You can find the quality player anyway. Another thing is coaches are different. Coaches want a system that is going to work for them, which it's a different system than what we are used to. And management also, you look at how Kaizer Chiefs is managing. Now, but they want to do things ngendlela yabo. So let me just make an example for you quickly. Let's say I'm a player, I'm a high quality player, very, very good. And then there's a club that is interested in me. Club. And then they tell me we cannot be able to pay you this much. For example, now a team like Kaizer Chiefs. Let me make an example with a player like Utulani Serrero, quality player. He comes to Kaizer Chiefs and they say we cannot be able to pay you 500,000 every month. We can only afford to give you 200,000 a month. And he says this is not gonna work for me. Or he says, okay, let me just settle for the 200,000 and then I will just give average performance to the team. Okay, moving on. We go to the coach. You have a coach. The coach comes in and says, no, I want these kind of players. Those players are going to work for me. This is the system that I'm trying to implement or I'm trying to introduce. And for me to execute it properly or the way I think it can work, I need to find at least Tulani Serrero. I need Umchita Lapana. For example, I'm making an example. Vincent Pule, I need those players so that what I'm trying to execute is going to work. And then comes to management and say, yeah, we hear you, but we're not going to be able to give you those players. We can only give you what we think would work for you because what you want is beyond our measures. You understand? And the coach then can say, okay, give me what you have. I will see what I can do with it. And then which obviously at the end of the day, we know it might not be part of his system. Or comes a different coach who says, give me whatever it is that you want to give me. I will make it work. It will take me time, but definitely it's going to work and it will work in our favor. Moving on, we jump to the management. The management says, you are a coach, please come help us, give us a system, a new system, because the one that we are using is not working. Give us your own system. The coach comes in and says, no, I will give you my system, but this is what I need. This is what I need to do. And they say, no, we cannot do that. It's either you give us a system within our system or we just let it be, and then or the management says, we will give you everything that you need. We're just gonna let you do whatever it is that needs to be done so that we can get this thing to work. You understand? So these are the type and kind of scenarios that we tend to have or tend to get in terms of coaches, teams, and players and managements. You understand? So currently, with that, as I've said before, with us introducing Oshin Shakolova, things might be different from back then, because remember back then, Kaizer Chiefs, a lot of quality players used to come to Chiefs for themselves. For what? Especially for exposure. But it must feel Kaizer Chiefs will get exposure and we can go to any club that we want, because at the end of the day, they will know that we played for the biggest team. Same as the coach that we were speaking about yesterday, a coach that coached Zamalek and managed to win the Champions League with Zamalek and win the league with Zamalek and win some few trophies with Zamalek. That tells you a lot about that coach. We're no longer looking at everything else. We're just looking at the fact that he coached a big team and managed to win certain things with that big team. So, same as this one. If we bring in a player who's not well known, it's going to be a problem. We're going to be like, oh man, the player Lily Aslazi, we don't think he's going to help the team. Probably he's a quality player, but because we don't know, we might think, this guy is not going to give us anything. And then we bring in a player that is well-known, well-oiled machine, afike adlale, and he doesn't give us the necessary preferred results. So you see, things have changed, things have evolved. But the best thing that can happen to a team is for a team to acquire the services of a coach. Let the coach work the magic. If the coach needs something to be provided, provide the coach with that something. You don't want him to complain and say, I'm not getting what I want because you did not give me what I needed. You understand? So give the coach everything that he wants. Give the coach whatever it is that he wants. And things ukhona nokumblame kahle. But right now, let me ask you this question, guys. With what is happening with Kaizer Chiefs currently, do we know what is the problem or who to blame? Are you going to blame the players? Nbonile, Slalile, Safaka Ashley Dupreez, Wadlala, she played, and then one makes that a chance which could have helped us win a game. Sizitole, Sina 3 points. But we lost those 3 points. I think it was against Stellenbosch, if I'm not mistaken. One makes that an open net, clear-cut chance. You understand? That is something. That is something that you can't say the coach is wrong. You understand? Same as Guma players. There's a substitution. Remember the game that we played recently against Richards Bay? There was one simple thing that we could have done, but we decided to do a lot more, in which did not yield any result because we failed to understand. As the coaches, we failed to understand what, no, this is what we need to do. So are we blaming the players? Are we blaming the coaches? Or the management themselves? Firing a coach after we said we will give you everything that you need, we are giving you this time. But then we let go of him. So who is to blame here? Are we going to blame the players? Are we going to blame the management? Are we going to blame the current co-coaches? What is the problem? Do we know? Let me ask you that. Do we know what the problem is currently? Let's be honestly speaking, do we know what the problem is currently, guys? We don't know, because there's a lot that is happening and we can't even comprehend. Okay, maybe it's because of this. Someone use it, I'm a player. Someone use it, Bobby Motaung. Someone use it, Kaizer Motaung Jr. Someone use it, Jessica is busy dealing with promotion. Kaizer Chiefs is not focusing on the football side of things. They're just focusing on sponsors and making money. Omunye will make suggestions and say, but you can't just sacrifice at least one sponsorship. Uthathe yona leyo 500 or 400 million. Uthathe leyo mali. I don't know, I'm just making an example. Uthathe leyo mali and try to bring in at least overseas players. Go to wherever and bring those players. But let's be honest, PSL does not allow you to sign or register. Let me not say sign. Register more than 5 foreigners, which already Kuma Sportsway today are occupied. So even if you can have all the money in the world, you can't just go and say, I'm going to buy each and every quality player that is out there because Lana locally don't want to give me those players. So that is something, guys, we have to look at. What is the problem? Who are we going to blame? I don't know. Let me know. But wait, check my comments. I've said enough. Let me see. 2019. Well, Ayanda says QP. Ayanda. But still, we need a good coach, and not a coach, a real good coach. He says we need a good coach, not just any coach. I agree with you, and for me, I still believe and maintain the fact that we lost a very, very good coach just because he was arrogant, and also us we were arrogant. It was not just him who was arrogant. Nathi is arrogant. So we arrogant versus arrogant, and obviously the owners of the club are going to win. Who is the good coach who can help Kaizer Chiefs? People are speaking. People are debating. We are looking at double coach Pito. We are looking at double coach Rolani. We are looking at, all of those coaches. Abu Ngoba, Abu Ernest, Eric Tinkler. We are looking at all of those people. But who is going to be a good coach for Kaizer Chiefs? And also ask yourself, what is a good coach? Is it a coach that is going to come and improve players? Or it is a coach who's going to come and combine a good squad? Because those are two different things. Same as Hugo Bruce. Hugo and a coach like Pito. Two different people. Why? A coach like Pito can be able to bring out the best in players, but he uses the system of picking players and also bringing out the best in those players. And then a coach like Hugo Bruce, he just combines a good squad, a good working squad, and then some sevenzel. You understand? So what is a good coach between those two? Hey, Pemelesi Tole for Kaizer Chiefs. KG, nothing will work out if the management don't want to spend. Wow. That is a beautiful point. That is a beautiful point, KG. I totally agree. If there's a player that we need, and then let's keep in mind this little player, we need to take out the money and buy that player. We lost a good player in Ausinapolis. I don't want to lie to you guys. Yanizwa, yay, in Apolisi, what. Apolis is a great player, and we lost him just because we did not want to take out money or spend money. Jongobashu KG. If we have spent that money, this guy would be here at National Arena. There's a lot of players that must clearly, as fans, we were looking at and combining, and we were like, okay, this is the kind of team that we can build, because we did not have a structure back then. We're like, this is the kind of team that we can build from those players. This is the structure that we can have going forward. You understand? But Kaizer Chiefs did not sign. Not even one of them. All the players that Kaizer Chiefs signed, it's only Umayo that I can say we found, and Akona Simtole, because of Sead Ramovic. If it was not for him, being a Simtole, honestly speaking. KG, your message was deleted. Let me move to grievance. We need a coach like Pitso Musaman. Yes, but does Kaizer Chiefs management agree with us? Do they see what we see in Coach Pitso? No, it doesn't look like they see it. Google, there's a problem when it comes to Pitso. Why? They know he's not easily manipulated, which again, it's another problem that Kaizer Chiefs has. You see, it was this guy from Mamelodi Sundowns. I feel like those guys, they do not include themselves in things that do not need to be included by them. He only focuses on what he needs to do. And then if they say we need a player like this, he tries to find a budget for that player, communicate with the rest of the shareholders, and then they agree if whether they can be able to take out the money and sign the player, or should they use a different kind of money from the budget that they have in order to bring in this player, because it's a wanted player, it's a needed player, it's someone that is going to help the team. You understand? But with us, no, we cannot do that. It's not happening. At least from my point of view, it is not happening. We look at Moremi. Pito is a good coach. I do agree. He's definitely a good coach. But remember, a coach like Pito coming to Kaizer Chiefs, as I've said, is going to demand a lot of things, because he understands it's a big club and fans will not be patient. They will need results. Same as Yoni Kaizer Chiefs failed to be patient with Nabi. We will need results. They will need results. And for us to get there, the quickest way was through signing the best of the best. Even though currently we don't have a bad squad, it's a good squad. We can compete with the squad. And honestly speaking, singafika. But as I've said, did Kaizer Chiefs sit down and say, guys, we are struggling with this. We need at least a striker coach? Did they do and agree on that? No, it's not happening. It's been years. A lot of fans have been talking about a striker coach. I wish I can text Kaizer Motaung Jr. Ngimboza, don't you guys think we need a striker coach? Because it's not like Kaizer Chiefs is scoring. I'm going to a video right now on Kaizer Chiefs Sabotage group chat. Tiwa Lapana on the stats coming in to one delay. Kaizer Chiefs has created more big chances. More big chances combined from Orlando Pirates, Ewaga Oswinapolis, and Urile Mofokeng. Those chances that they've created, Kaizer Chiefs have created combined. Do you understand how big that is? It is very big. Don't we see the problem that we do not score? Siaibona. What are we doing to fix that problem? No, we are going back. We will work from there. What are you working on? That is my biggest question. What is it that you are working on? What is it that you're trying to do in order to improve the problem that we have going forward? You can't say, Bonda. We are shy bonda. You are using a normal hammer. You say, I as long on Copa, no, if you see what lemon dual Copa, but I'll poke, it's not cracking, nothing is happening. You change the hammer, you bring in a big hammer. You bring in uzane pigi. Hey, yabona manje ngizame konke akusebenzi. Let me bring in a jack hammer. Aliwi, you bring in a big truck. Yin bayibizana le demolition truck. Figure nayo yeza lapha. Same time. Iwile. Did you persistently do lento ukuthi ngizoshaya ngamura encane lizoze liphuke ibonda? No. You decided to change the strategy and do something differently, which definitely nakanjani, it worked. It's going to work. Why? Because you are trying different combinations. We don't have a problem with ama lineup weight. The only thing I can say, it's affecting us currently. Okay, this one definitely is a problem. Ama injuries, and our injuries are not simple injuries who die or just 2 games and then yabuya. It's always, especially at the back, it's always players who are going out for months, which is a big problem. That is the only thing that I feel like currently into control guyo. But going up there, come on guys. We can do a lot more. We can do a lot more. I'm still maintaining Eshe Duplessis, as much as he's good with his speed. Currently, right now, he could have been the best top goal scorer at Nashorena if he was getting the help that he so desperately needs. But he's not getting that help. He's definitely not. Moving on. These players seem unhappy and there's no chemistry between them. KG. Why? What is the reason for that? It's another question that we are asking ourselves. Should we get the answer? Where would we get the answer? I don't know, truly speaking. But it's a problem. And in this Ibonayo, Tina, does Kaizer Chiefs see the problem? Honestly speaking, I don't know. But it doesn't seem like maybe Bona eating Shakpela. And maybe by Bona, they're just hoping things will get back themselves on their own. You see? Another problem. But let's say, for example, one sponsor decides to say, we are parting ways with you, Kaizer Chiefs. Kaizer Chiefs will not hesitate to make sure, or they try by all means to find a new sponsor. They will negotiate with whoever that is going to come, or whoever that they feel like is going to help by using a blend, and make sure that they find or fill that gap that will be left by that sponsor who has just left. You understand? Something. One dealer, well, like QP, Chiefs does not need a different coach. Chiefs fans need a different mindset. Okay. Ash, kodwa izoba yiphi mindset different lapho Wandile, because currently the only thing that we need, because let's be honest, I'm fans, as much as they are mad, they've been doing their job. And I understand. Even the other day, there was someone here who was crying, Utiazi, I spent 4,500 from Limpopo to Jozi just to watch Kaizer Chiefs lose. And ngikhalela nje imali yami. So I feel like Kaizer Chiefs fans, as much as we can say they need to have a different mindset, it's not gonna be easy. The only thing that we Kaizer Chiefs can do to change the mindset of the fans is by doing what is needed. Winning games. Even Nalia 1-0 win, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. But now things are looking too bad. So fans have different kind of mindsets because they are like, how we were doing like this, but manche, it looks like we are dipping in form. We are going down. So the only thing or the only way that can fix the mindset of my fans is by Kaizer Chiefs winning games. That's it. Or getting back to playing good football, promising football. One thing about good football is that it promises you things and you feel like we're going to get a goal. Even if you're not getting it, you feel like things are combining. You only need to fix those minor mistakes and then everything is fine, which we've been talking about the striker coach, something that should have been brought to Kaizer Chiefs a long time ago. Mina, it's the first time seeing a big team like Kaizer Chiefs that doesn't have a striker coach. Even Peter Musemane on his technical team, he has a striker coach. He even replaced someone. I forgot his name, but he replaced someone who was a striker coach. But with us. And then KG, even if we bring Peter, quality players, or even if we bring Peter, quality players are required. Exactly. Like it's something that we see, we know. How about Kaizer Chiefs? Do they know it? I don't know. Opa. Kumele siyokhokha kanene noma singathenga bani kuzofana ngeke kulunge. Yeah, awuqinisile opa noma singathenga bani ngeke kulunge, because let's be honest, Kaizer Motaung is not a bad player, but it doesn't look like he's performing at his level best at Nashorena. Why is that? Even Labuya Corner, he was playing good. He was even scoring goals. But here, something is not right. Something is definitely not right. And the environment speaks a lot about those problems. We need players to play with conviction and resilience. Release players which are not committed to this patch. We need a striker coach and a motivational coach added to the current tech team. This is another problem that we have with Kaizer Chiefs. When it comes to Kaizer Chiefs, they prefer to treat you with utmost respect, treat you like royalty, treat you very, very special, sweet, no matter what happens. I understand a player can have a bad game, 2-3 games, but you cannot have more than that. If you see that a player is not giving you what you want, just let go of that player. Each and everyone who comes to Kaizer Chiefs, they will understand why they are here. They are here to work. It looks like they're on vacation. They don't mind. They know whatever happens in V2. We're playing for Kaizer Chiefs, we are getting paid. It's not a problem. But then if within your OT, you can see definitely that you are playing for a team that is serious and you need to deliver. If you do not deliver, you are being let go of. Otto Priest was not delivering, but we gave him a contract extension. Why was that? How many goals did he score last season to say, Manje, this season we are going to give him a contract extension? How many goals? Let me know. I'll be here waiting. You can bring Petrus, but you will fire him within 6 months. I tell you, definitely, that is true. That is true. Because at the end of the day, he's someone who's going to demand, he's going to want things, and Kaizer Chiefs is not capable or not able to deliver as of yet. As of yet, they wish things happen in Tlantla, which luck doesn't work. Only brains work in the system. Chiefs fans have not supported Khalil and Kaizer since day one. Instead of having patience with them to work with the team and get winning mentality and being confident. No, that is not true. I don't think that is true, Wandile. Remember when Nabi was fired? A lot of Chiefs fans, they were the ones saying, okay, at least with those coaches we are winning. Because remember, Onawute Magabuya, kwadlala le game Kukune, and then we lost. I think it was 3-1 or 3-0, I'm not too sure. It's a must loser. And then suddenly people are saying, yeah, well, definitely Coach Magahambe, we will be left with Kaze and Khalid. Why am I saying this? It's because they said since we played with Khalid and Kaze, we never lost a game. Remember those were there. So as fans, I even saw someone saying, okay, fine, Kaizer Chiefs have decided to fire Khalil Unabi. Let's see what the coaches that are currently there are going to bring to us. We will give them time. But now it's difficult to give them proper time because we feel like they've had time before. That first season that they had with us would have been enough, according to fans, would have been enough for them to say, now we know what kind of a team Kaizer Chiefs is. We can't say currently Kaizer Chiefs needs to start afresh and learn. No, we need to move forward because those guys, they've been here. They know what needs to be done. You understand? So that's why I feel like most fans have given support to Kaze and Khalid. Even me, I was like, okay, Nyabona, we've let go for Coach Nabi. It's fine. I feel like maybe we're going to regret this, but then let's give them a chance and see what they're going to do. And they did just that. They did just that, and then we started seeing problems. I was like, okay, why are we scoring 1 goal per game? Because this is going to be a problem. Yes, I appreciate that, but we need more. I remember we spoke about it. We need more goals. We can't be scoring 1 goal and then just relax and say, no, the job is done. What is the solution in terms of that? Me, I was hoping for more problem-solving solutions from that, not us to deep down and go down. You understand? So that is something. KG comment is gone. If that was the fact, they would not be wanting them to leave. Well, right now, to be honest, people want them to leave because of the performance. You remember when we said Kaizer Chiefs needs to have a structure. Right now, it doesn't look like Kaizer Chiefs has a structure. It doesn't look like we are still remaining on that identity that we're playing. Remember when we played under Nabi, even though we're losing, you could see the fire. You could see the kind of momentum that Kaizer Chiefs brought into games. The only problem was after the first half, second half, sometimes you will find that our players are now starting to be lazy. It's no longer the same team. And then we have some substitutions, change those players, and then we get back that fire. That's why even last season, I'm saying, Mina, even today, even last season, the same number of chances that we were creating last season is still the same. Even this season, you understand? Still the same. Maunga check a video, Yama stats, you will see that the chances, the big chances that we're creating this season is the same as last season. But this season, we should be working on Indaba Yogukora, not going back to fix a problem that was already fixed. So that's why a lot of fans are like, no, something is not right. And then now we are going back, and now we're going to have to go back and fix Indaba Loku. We have to go back and fix Indaba mentality. Remember when Nabi was here, a lot of our players started to be a lot more together. But now, Woodman, he's forcing them to have this good relationship. And I don't think it's still happening currently. You can see with what the mentality of the players. We are born, no, definitely something is off. There's a disjointment that is happening. Another thing, Khalil Nokaze, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna say it again. Those two guys, I feel like Batonselana. They are doing that. So I feel like that's one of the reasons why we see this problem. Now we do not have consistency. Now the players are confused. They don't know what to do and what not to do, because this one wants this and this one wants that. What if currently, as I'm speaking with you, those two coaches, one of them is busy trying to sabotage the other, saying at least if this one can live, I will be the head coach? Because that is the biggest problem that Kaizer Chiefs did. They should have fired one coach and made the other one a head coach. Khalid was supposed to be head coach and the man's assistant coach or guys. But now it's not happening. So even the players, I feel like that's why they're currently confused. They don't even have a motivation. Like, hey, there's a lot that is happening. The problem started when we brought Abo Lazarus Kambule, so he left. Yeah, see again, there was Abo Kambule, man. But remember, we did have a good team, man, recently. The team Abo Kadoso and Abo Nakovic. That team was a good working team. Like, we had a good spirit there. It was way proper. It was way proper. But then, yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. So, in Ning, the coach's mandate is to be on the top 8, and they are still within it. So, what? Why all campaign to get them sacked? Well, remember, this is not us, Wandile. Remember, Ukhalil came out and said, there are people that are talking badly about Kaizer Chiefs, because we were talking from a point of love and saying, okay, this and this and that need to be fixed. You understand? And then Ukaze came out and said, there are people who are talking too much, and we know what we are doing. At the end of the season, everyone is going to be sorry. I'm not saying the season is finished, but that within itself, you are creating which when you don't care about the fans. So that's why I feel like a lot of the fans lost it from there. They were like, okay, angeke phela. Angeke sithi sizama ukubonisa ngendlela right, and then you tell us Tina, we are going to apologize, and then now you look at the results, we are one what no, things are getting worse. Let's be honest, things are getting worse. We are not getting better, we are getting worse and worse. The next game that we're going to play, it's not a guaranteed way, which is we are going to win. So it's another point. It's another point that we need to look at, you know. The problem is the players not using their thinking caps. Like, guys, go watch the games and see how our players flop, and especially the ones we praise. That is true. That is true. There are certain players who are not doing exceptionally well at the club. But as you've always said, we need people who are going to help them. And do we have those people? No, we don't. Again, as I said before, who are we going to blame? Who are we going to blame? What is the problem? Why is the mentality like this? What are we going to say? Who are we going to blame? Yabon? Okay, Keiichi, what do you mean we had 0 shots on target against Richards Bay ever since I was born? Never seen that. Makes sense. Like, against a team like Richards Bay, Nakwana, no goal show, it doesn't make any sense. 0 shots on target the entire 90 minutes. Where were we? What were we doing in that game? What was happening? Why are we deeping worse and worse instead of at least trying to balance things out and try to get back and push the momentum? So, that's okay, listen to. There's a lot, but then for now, I think I will leave you guys nanin debate and more. But for me, I've said all I can. For now, it's all about to clarity energy and hope at least the coming games, the coaches, because they are not going anywhere, they can win those games. That's why I always say, Mina, if there's a problem, say that as coaches, we will go back and we're going to work from there. You can't just work from there. You need to identify the problems. You say this and this and this and that happened. I don't want this and this and that to happen again. I saw you, Ashley Dupreez. You played like this. This is what you did. Next time, this is what I need. And for me to be able to make sure that you are going to do exactly what I need you to do, let's start preparing. Let's start training. Some people are not talented players. They are just skillful players who need time to work on the talent. That's all I can say. But let me leave it like that. I think I might have something for you around 3 and then maybe even later.